welcome. Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Laura Hall and we are live, and look at the time. We are live so early today. I'm just so thrilled to be here this morning with you. So we are live here in Daphne, Alabama. Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Laura Hall, and if this is the first time you're joining us, what we love to do is say hello, who we are, where we're from. Show some love, hit those heart signs or like signs, just keep tapping on it. The more we tap on it, the more people get to see the show. So it's just so wonderful. And in our community, we just are so loving and so caring. We love to offer tips and ideas. And last week's show, when we did the poached pear, and if you are missing some of these shows, you know, I go live. I used to have the show live every Friday for the last 2 years, but now we've moved the show to Thursdays. And it's going to vary on Thursday depending on what we have going on. We have a ton of activities going on here in this community. Well, it's Mardi Gras, right? Hello. So we'll be live at different times on Thursday, but I always announce it when we do the Come Shop With Me, which we did yesterday. So just go ahead and look at my Facebook feed. But if you've missed a show, you can always find me on my YouTube channel. It's Lifestyle by Laura J. So if you missed any shows, go there. We have so many beautiful recipes, so many healthy recipes, because I started this show with really helping my kids with my original recipes, and then the show just took off and we had a lot of followers, and well, you know it, we're just in the throes of just bringing great, delicious recipes, not just for my clients, to make it vegan, vegetarian, but really healthy, traditional style recipes as well. So this month, well, we started last week, the week before, we are making some incredible desserts. So a lot of people, raise your hand. If you're one of those people who just love to have a little dessert occasionally, well, guess what? You can actually have them. And what we've created, or we're creating, are some really fun recipes that are really healthy, and you know, a good ability to have a little splurge here and there. But I think you're gonna love this recipe. So today we're gonna be making, it's almost like, if you like apple pie, it's going to be very similar to apple pie. We're making apple tacos. But again, we have a really interesting flair because we're going to be making them with a little, just a teeny hint of bourbon. So we're calling them bourbon apple tacos. So hang with me. Behind me, right there, I actually have a finished product, so you can take a look at it. It's in the slow cooker. We started it off this morning. And I do want to share with you what it looks like, because it just smells heavenly in here. So I'll get with the program here and show you what it looks like. You are going to love this recipe. And you know what's really great, if you don't like to have, my glasses got steamed up. Those are beautiful apples. If you don't like to make the apple tacos and you just want to have a great apple recipe, a sliced apple recipe, this is just going to be so beautiful. Let me get this spoon. So let me show you how beautiful it looks. Just lift it up a little bit. There's a beautiful slurry in here, just like if you were making an apple pie. We have already the cooked carrots, cooked apple slices, and it just smells heavenly. So let's go ahead and start cooking and share with you how to put this recipe together. Put this back over there so that it can continue to keep warm. Okay, here we go. Simple recipe. You're going to absolutely love it. I better keep these handy over here. Okay, so we're going to start off with some apple slices. So what I like to do is I love to leave the peel on. It keeps the apples actually together if you keep the peel on. And what we've done is we've gone ahead and sliced them up. I used Granny Smith and Fuji apples, so these are really wonderful. And I like to mix my apples a little bit because like each flavor could be just a different, just a little bit different flavor to it. So I've got the recipe. Actually, when you see the recipe, when the show is done, I'll post the recipe in the actual post, plus a ton of pictures. But it calls for, we're going to do 6 apples. This is 3 apples in here, actually. But because we're doing this one a little vegan, vegetarian, I wanted to show you what the difference is. And it's only 1 ingredient difference. All right, so we're going to add the apples. All right, the next thing you're going to want to do is add your sugars. So we actually have two types of sugars. We actually have, I love this, I found this last week, Whole Earth Sweetener Company. It's stevia leaf and monk fruit. It's a really, really great sugar to cook with. So what we're using is 3/4 of a tablespoon. So not quite a full tablespoon. So you're gonna put that in. And then we're gonna use a 1/2 cup of organic brown coconut sugar. And I love to do organic, and I love that you can't see that symbol very well, but it's non-GMO. It has vegan in the back, so it's really a wonderful product. And so it's coconut organic brown sugar. So we're gonna use a 1/2 cup. You're gonna love how simple this recipe is. And it is, if you don't have a great apple pie recipe, I think you'll love using this one for your apple pie. All right, so I'll put that in the sink. All right, and then we're gonna add our seasonings. So we have some Japanese 7 spice, and I love to have a little kick in any of the fruit that I ever cook with. And this is kind of my secret for all my pies. And well, what you want to do is make sure, again, whatever spice you get, make sure that you're looking at non-GMO and organic. So GMOs are genetically modified organisms, and we don't need to have GMOs in our body. So we always want to cook with no GMO. Then we have some Japanese 5-spice blend. We're going to add that in. This one has a really super tight spout, so I'm just going to get there. And then we have, well, I'm going to show you the vanilla bean. So we have a vanilla bean. We're only going to use a 1/2 one. And I've gone ahead and taken this vanilla bean and I've split it in half. You always, whenever you're using a vanilla bean, you want to split it down the middle. And it's really, really hard to see, but there are little teeny pods of vanilla. And that is what brings this flavor. So split that open. And those will come out while they're cooking. Wonderful. Then we have some ground ginger. Oh gosh, it's already smelling great in these pots, and I don't even have anything going yet. Again, that's pretty tight. I want to make sure I get enough ginger in there. That was good. Okay. I know it drives some people crazy that I don't actually measure. I've done these recipes for so long that I really don't need to, but I actually have the actual measures that you want to do. And some people, you know, in their pies, things that they're cooking, you really like to, you have certain flavors that you really love. So these are my recipes. All right, and then we have some ground Jamaican allspice. And this is actually a new recipe, but this is typical of what I'll put in my apple pie during the holidays. And then finally, we have some cinnamon. So some organic cinnamon. Okay, the final thing that we're going to do for this particular recipe, let me just get that going, is we're going to make a little bit of a slurry. Well, before we do that, let me go ahead and we're going to do 2 teaspoons, and in the vegan side, we're going to use 2 teaspoons of our vegan. We do I chose Earth Balance because it's soy-free, so non-GMO vegan Earth Balance, just 2 teaspoons. Sorry, that's pretty loud. Let me grab another spoon to kind of get that out. Two teaspoons. And then if you're not vegan or vegetarian, you can use a clarified butter. And I've got G, clarified butter. So for this pot, for the Mealthy pot, we'll do the clarified butter. There we go. And real sticky. It's pretty humid here today. I know for some of you, you're in the depths of winter and it's not fun, but we are getting started in our spring season and it is crazy. My windows, if you could see my windows, they're all full of just all kinds of condensation because it's so humid outside. Crazy. All right, now we're gonna make that slurry. So what we wanna do is we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So what I've used is a non-GMO cornstarch. So you're gonna take 2 tablespoons, but I'm not gonna put it in just yet because I wanna have the liquids perfect. So we're gonna use just 1/8 of a cup of bourbon. Now the bourbon and the wine, that's your choice. You can always substitute. If you don't wanna use any bourbon or wine, you can actually use water. Water is perfect because we're gonna actually put some water in here as well. But we're gonna be right under, 1/8 of a cup. I have a great measuring cup. It gives me a perfect dimension if I just look at the liquid, so it's perfect. And then, I guess I better keep the lid off because we have 2 of these that we're gonna be doing. And then I have 1/4 cup of white wine. Excuse me, let me wash my hands really quick. There was a really good spice in there, and excuse my sneeze. Thank you. Okay, so now we want to use 1/4 cup of purified water. So I'm just going to go here because you know I have an ionizer, and if you're looking for an ionizer, just send me a private message because this is thebomb.com. I can't even tell you how it's changed our lives here. So I'm going to put on my purification water and let it run, and I'm going to grab 1/4 cup. Beautiful. All right, so I got 1/4 cup of water. And now what I'm going to do is add in 2 tablespoons of the cornstarch. And I'm just going to stir that around. It's going to make a little bit of a slurry. That's great. And we're just going to dump it right into the pot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my ionizer again. I'm going to use my acid water now just to clean that off real quick. I really don't have to do that, but I just like to make everything exactly the way as if it were just starting off. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for the other pot, for our mealthy pot, for our traditional. All right, and then we want to add in 1/4 cup of the white wine. All right, and now we'll get our purified water. 1/4 cup. And then we'll make the slurry for the second one. All right, this is such a simple recipe. You're gonna absolutely love it. So I'm gonna put the tops, secure the lids, and set the timer for 6 minutes for both of these on high pressure. I'm gonna stir that around real quick. Just kind of get it all mixed together. Oh, it smells heavenly. I wish you could smell this. Someday, I'm sure in our lifetime, we'll be able to do that. Okay, beautiful. All right, now we'll get the tops. Secure the lids. Lock them in place. Make sure you have the steam in the off position. And we're going to set it on manual pressure cook, 6 minutes, and now we'll get started. Same thing for this one. Lock it in place. This is the Instant Pot. This is the 6 quart. And we're going to go ahead and hit start for the 6 minutes pressure cook. There we go. It's ready to go. So now, let me make a little bit of space here. Let me show you how to prepare the tacos. So easy, so wonderful. So over here, let me grab it and show you. I have put together some pure maple syrup. I've just used this pure maple syrup. So I've got a container that I can brush on the tacos, and I have some cinnamon. Now some people might want to put some sugar in here, but because I've used the maple syrup, I think that it's just going to be, that's how I've used it. And what I've done is I've taken some tortillas and I've pre-cut them. And what you want to do, if you're watching your carbs, you want to find the lowest carb. So this is a net carb for the whole taco. The net carb is 4 net carbs. And because you're getting 3 little tacos out of it, it's really, it's like having almost like a 0 carb if you're only serving 1 of these. If you're putting 2 on the plate, I would count it as 2 carbs. Not even, but like a carb, 2 carbs. Let's just say 2 carbs. But at any rate, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a 3-inch cookie cutter. Now I couldn't find my cookie cutters since moving here, so I used this. I improvised and made some rounds. So I'll go ahead and show you what these are. This one is, well, I wrote it exactly in the recipe. This is a La Tortilla Factory low carb flour tortilla. And then I actually have another flavor. Non-GMO, no wheat, no soy, and no dairy. This is a gluten-free wrap. So this is, again, the same company, non-GMO, gluten-free. So I did a little bit of both. So just to show you, we've got 2 different types of rounds. This is the flour round, and this is the gluten-free, no wheat. This is the other one. So we made the rounds, and what you're going to do, and I took some great pictures. And we won't do this for all of them because I've already pre-made them. But what you do, and that's why this pan has already been used, but you'll take your round and you'll just baste it with the maple syrup, just so lightly. And then what you'll do is put them in that cinnamon, shake off the excess, and fold it into a round, and you'll place it like so. I'll do it for a couple just so you can see how that works. These second ones that I had made, they're a little thicker, so they may hold up a little bit more when you bake them. But both of them actually came out perfectly. So basically, oops, I went the wrong way with that. I gotta turn it this way. So you basically get, let me just rinse my hand. And I'll show the picture of how it looks and how they turn out. But you'll put your oven, you'll set it for bake for 325, and you'll bake it for 8 minutes. But when they come out, they're going to look like this. Little bitty, little bitty shells. And they're ready to be stuffed. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the baked apples, and we're going to stuff it with 1 or 2 of the apples, make it really nice and juicy. And then drizzle over some of the slurry, that is the juice from the cooking, for the apples cooking for so long. And then you're gonna just do a little bit of grated, oh, speaking of which, I didn't put in, hold on 1 second. Before these get to pressure, I need to put in the juice of, I forgot a little bit of my recipe, so I'm gonna take these off real quick. Yep, that's how you can do it. Take them off, and we want to put in a juice of a Meyer lemon. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Good thing we caught that. But we're going to actually shave some of these Meyer lemons and grate it. We'll grate it a little bit when we serve it. You'll see in the pictures. I'm so glad we caught that. See, it can happen in anyone's kitchen forgetting something. Here we go. Before it got pressure. Woo! I love that when we find these opportunities in the kitchen. Anyway, that is really the recipe. Look for the pictures in the actual comments. I'm going to go ahead and start preparing a few of those so that you can actually see. And again, we'll have some from each one of the pots. So we have the slow cooker, and this recipe is great for the slow cooker, and it's so versatile. It works in your pressure cookers, no matter which one you have. The Instapot, which is here on the left, and on the right is the MEALTHY pot. So it works great. All right, and that's the show for today. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I'm so happy to have come to you and shared this show with you early. And I just wish everyone a whole bunch of love, and I hope that it's warm for you wherever you are. Oh gosh, that's so perfect. I just got to pressure. And we'll see you next week on Thursday.